Coming up on today's video, we take a look at some reserve list cards that you should be watching. Don't miss out, they're coming up next. Hi everyone, welcome back. MTG Moxman here. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. On today's video, we'll be taking a look at some reserve list cards that have serious financial value, either now, in the future, due to their sales volume, or maybe they're on the down low and there's a chance to pick them up cheaply. These are cards to watch, and they're coming up next. Let's take a look at the first card, Acid Rain. This card comes from Legends. Acid Rain is one of the old school cards that you hated to see because it destroyed everything, in this case, every forest in play. This is definitely a card from the 90s when everyone was concerned about Acid Rain in the real world, destroying statues and monuments and wrecking rainforests. Guys, it's funny to see this card nowadays, but remember, this card can still see play, and it's deadly. Blowing up all the forests in play is not a fun thing to have happen. This card is around $273 Canadian for a heavily played English copy. The average is $299.99 US. The market is $168.83, and €137.37 will get you that card. It has dropped just a smidgen in the last little while, but I actually don't expect that trend to continue based on the sales volume, and especially in the Italian copies versions of these cards. Although they're much cheaper, they are the cards that people are picking up when they need to have copies in their decks. Do not forget that about these type of cards. When you have Legends and the Dark, these were also made in Italian, and you can get them a lot cheaper if you're just looking for a card to play and keep around in a Commander deck, Vintage or Legacy, Old School, whatever floats your boat. But you can get it a lot cheaper in Italian if you're not too fussy. So Acid Rain is an amazing card. Guys, these cards just aren't made anymore. Wizards doesn't do this. They really changed how the mechanics of the game work. So seeing a card like this can remind you of how brutal this game could be back in the day. Acid Rain is definitely a card to grab. Now, when we're taking a look at Jovial Evil, I used to love the flavor text of this, like, let's go to the plains and see what fun we can have and stuff like that. Guys, another Legends card, but only $95 Canadian for a near mint copy. Doing 2 damage to your opponent for each white creature they control doesn't seem like a lot, but depending on the multicolored deck people play nowadays, Jovial Evil can be a brutal card. The average price is $83.54 US. The market is $52.42, and it's €59.98 will get you that card. This card has plummeted massively from the highs of early 2021. This might be a card you are after for a collection, but a near mint copy for $95 is a great steal, Canadian guys. Or in the US, finding one for around that $55 mark. These are cards to grab now before the next buyout, which eventually will happen, come to take this card higher again. It's an amazing card to have. Now our next card up is going to be Angus Mackenzie. Feels funny even saying the name, how they did the Legends back then. Now, this card basically has non-existent sales. Super slow. Hasn't sold a copy in about a month. But guys, $610 Canadian for a near mint copy of this Legends card. $406.20 is the average US. The market says $400, and €384.99 will get you that card. It has dipped lower, but obviously not low enough for other players and investors to want to grab copies of this card. If you want to play a copy of this, I would definitely go the Italian route. You will save a lot of money on the Italian versions of this card. But if you're a collector who needs to have a near mint copy, this can be a very hard pill to swallow. I do not recommend buying this card now. I would like to see if it falls further. We'll revisit this card in about 3 months and we'll see where it's at. Angus Mackenzie, you might be fun, but you are way too costly. Alright guys, the next one up is another Legends card, Ramses Overdark. Now again, a card with slow sales, but the price has actually kind of gone up a little bit. Although it's a slow sale card, this card is not horrible. Destroying a target creature which has an enchantment on it, especially if you can bring enchantments back from your graveyard and keep playing them on the opponent's creatures, this can be a fun card to have around. He's not particularly cost effective, being 6 to get out for a 4/3, but there are lots of instances in which you might have some Royal Assassins paired up with Ramses Overdark to start taking people out. I just remember using that with Icy Manipulator. I'd use the Icy with a Royal Assassin, tap their creature and kill it. Tap their creature and kill it. It was a great time for everyone. Well, okay, good time for me, not a great time for my opponents. Now, $110 Canadian for a lightly played copy. The average is 102.50 US. The market is 125.31 US, but it can be found cheaper, I'm telling you now. And €69.67 seems to hit that card dead on the mark to get that card home to you. Guys, an amazing, nostalgic piece of history with epic artwork that just isn't put out there nowadays. This Legends card is definitely one to watch. I'm keeping an eye on it. Now, our next card is going to be Hazezon Tamar. One of my all-time favorites from anyone who's been on this channel for a while. You know how I feel about it. Hazezon is a Legends card that puts sand tokens into play. Back then, there was no way of getting this many tokens normally, so seeing it out there was just crazy. You can find this card for $279.99 Canadian, lightly played. You can find it the average being $299.99 US. The market is $284.69 US, and €241.33 gets you that card. I would recommend those who might want this card in Europe checking overseas and see who will ship to you. It will cost a lot less money. This card has extremely high sales right now, guys. I mean, I'm talking the English versions, the Italian versions. This card is selling all the time, but there are more cards coming to market, which means the supply-demand issue is not a problem right now until we have people buying and nobody selling. But right now, it's perfectly fine. The price has dipped a bit, which is nice, allowing for even more people to buy this card. You can find the Italian copies for about $100. Good deal, guys. Keep an eye on Hazezon. He's a lot of fun to have around. Niall Silvain from the Dark is our next card here, guys. This card comes in at $15 Canadian, near mint. The average is $9.64 US. The market is $8.85. And €11.73 will get you that card. But what people have to realize is this Dark card is on the reserve list. It is a 3 casting cost green for a 2/2, but its ability to tap 4 and regenerate our target creature, keeping things alive, can be very important when you're playing Commander, and this card fits into any mono green deck, guys. It is a card to keep an eye on. The price has collapsed. It is in a definite buy position when it's this low. Keep an eye out. You can find non-near mint copies even cheaper than this. It's a crazy card to have some fun with. I thought I would mention it to anybody who's looking for a cheap reserve list card. Craziness. Now our next card is going to be Mox Sapphire. Now this is the unlimited edition I'm showing you guys today. You can see you can find a heavily played copy for $3,500 Canadian. Now I want to let you guys know, I looked at this card on eBay. It was brutal. It looks like a faded piece of paper. It's damaged as far as I'm concerned. That's why I put the damage thing there. But if you're looking for a light played or a near mint copy, that's around the $7,500 Canadian mark. The average is $83.59.99. The market is $58.99.99, and it is €3,666.65 will get you that card. This card has dipped down a bit for anything that is not near mint, but remember, these are not coming around often. They are a high-priced power item in the Magic universe, and I'm surprised by the strong sales. I've got to be honest, there's a couple of copies selling every week, and it's 4 or 5 buyers that have been buying them. The sellers are not the same people in this case. I'm keeping a very close eye on this one, but I wanted to let you guys know, Mox Sapphire, it is moving. But that does not mean that these are shill bids. I don't know what they are yet. I am keeping a very close tab on it. If anything comes up with that, I'll do a revised video to let you guys know what I found. Now our next card is going to be Taiga. Alright, this is going to be a revised copy for $380 Canadian for lightly played. The average is $420.99 US. The market is $434.03, and it's €230.38 to get this card. This is a card, when it was $150, I was telling people to buy it. I was telling people to pick this card up. I said these lower end reserve list cards of the dual lands are so underpriced right now. And this is really starting to show its time and its age now. It is having strong sales. It is moving a lot into people's decks, be they vintage, legacy, commander, or just for people's personal collections. These second-hand type of dual lands that people used to not value as much have really come into their own, and the values are really increasing. Keep an eye on all these. They might be cards you have at home right now. You might want to hold on for another 10 years and see where you're at, because these values are going to get crazy. Alright guys, we're taking a look at Sedge Troll. Revised edition. I hated this card so much because I had a hard time understanding as a kid. It's only $9 Canadian for a lightly played copy. Revised. $7.99 is the average. $7.77 is the market. And it's €6.93. Guys, it's a 2/2 for 3. But if you have black mana, it can regenerate. So that's what made it so crazy. And it got +1/+1 if you had a swamp in play. So this guy could actually become a 3/3 for 3 and regenerate. Tell me what's wrong with that picture. Do you see any cards like that doing that nowadays? None. This card is an underrated card that I'm keeping my eye on. I own a few copies already, but I will not be letting them slip by if they go any lower. I will start to pick some up myself. Guys, this is a possible buyout card for the future. Keep an eye on it. All right. Next up is going to be Natural Selection Unlimited Edition, because they never went into revised. This, as you guys know, have been on the channel for a while, is one of my favorite be-all, end-all cards. I just like the artwork. It kind of reminds me of Egyptian style stuff that I remember in movies and stuff as a kid. The ability to look at three cards off of anybody's library and reorganize them or reshuffle is so cool. I remember like totally messing up people's decks by giving myself a couple of turns of breathing room. This card can be found for $245 Canadian lightly played. The average is $294.99. The market is $240.76. And of course, it's €274.90. Those overseas might want to look at this card in Canadian eBay or of course on the US website and see if they'll ship overseas, because this card can be found a lot cheaper than what you guys would have to pay, and the exchange rate would definitely be in your favor. This card has really come down quite a bit. I'm surprised though that it has very strong sales, considering that it doesn't get used that much. I was surprised by the sheer volume of sales across the things I've looked at. Local stores don't have this card. Collector editions are still going for around $90 and they're selling. Guys, something's going on with this card and I don't quite know what, but I'm keeping a very close eye on this one as well, because its past sales and past experiences have not led me to believe it should be doing anything near the quantity and volume of sales it's going through right now. So keep an eye on that. All right, our next card up is going to be Elephant Graveyard. This one's had steady sales with 1 or 2 copies selling a month. $360 Canadian for heavily played copy. The average is $350, $375. The market, though, was $425.98, and €239 will get you this card. Being able to regenerate elephants is actually kind of a crazy concept and idea, and this still taps for regular mana. Now, who knew back then that elephants would become a thing? But there are a lot of powerful mammoths and elephants out there that really could make these cards work for you. Keep an eye on it. This card is only going to go up. Being from Arabian Nights, that alone makes it valuable. Being a card that people actually might want to use in a deck makes it even worse. That double threat, double header will make it scary for those who want to buy this card at some point later on. Keep an eye, because this one is going to go high. All right, our next one up is Metalworker. Of course, Rudy at Alpha Investments has mentioned this card numerous times when he showed that cool video with a stack. His price spike has settled back down, though. You can find this card for $180 Canadian near mint. The average is $162.48. The market is $160.50. The foil still comes in around that $1,000 mark, and €100.50 will get you that card. It does have strong sales, but the buyers and sellers, again, they're meeting in the middle area right now with nothing scary or weird going on. It's just buy, sell, give or take a few bucks here and there. There were some spikes when Rudy had done his video, but that has totally calmed down and passed along. So guys, if it's a card you're looking for, I actually think it's going to dip down another 5%. So keep an eye on this card if it's one you wanted, because it's going to go cheaper. All right, guys, next up, of course, is Soldevi Excavations. This card's had a resurgence of another $3 or $4 gain this week, coming in at $39.07 is the average. The market is $34.64, and it's €20.50. Roughly $50 Canadian for near mint. There was one that said it was near mint that cost less, and a couple of the sites I looked at, but they did not look near mint for my eyes. So I'm still going to say it's $50 for a near mint copy of this card. It has been a little bit cheaper, but it's also gone a little more expensive. TCG Player definitely has quite a few copies of this card available, but if you're looking to pick one up to join the channel's little momentum thing, look for the near mint copies first. Spend the extra $5-10, get a decent quality copy, because they are definitely the harder ones to find when you're trying to find this card. Now our next card is going to be City of Shadows. Now City of Shadows you can find $130 Canadian lightly played. The average is $99.99 US. The market is $102.52. And it's €86.86. Now, City of Shadow is my second buyout card. I'm only buying one a month of this card, as you guys know. So what I've done is I've already bought my October one. I bought last month's one at the end of September, so I have my 2 copies already. It is going to be slow and steady, and I will definitely be picking the best I can find. I'm not going to go for any beat up copies right now. I'm going for the best of the best that I can afford because I see real potential in this card for the future. And if we hold the line on all of our reserve list cards, we will see the gains that are due us at some point in the future. Remember, when those buyouts come, you don't want to be on the person having to sell and get a ripped off mark. You want to be able to hold on to these and get the value you deserve for a long-term investment of this nature, guys. Keep it up, okay? Now, before I jump off here, I want to let you guys know, this is just a small sampling of reserve list cards. We all know there's so many to look at. But I track so many sales, it does take time for the information to come back to me from all the stores I'm contacting, as well as looking at all the sales and cross-referencing my past files. So although I rotate some of these around, you'll see some more often because I'm getting the information quicker. This is some great stuff out there. I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. And if you happen to be new to the channel, welcome aboard. I hope you enjoyed the video today. Everyone have a great day. I look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow. Cheers. And of course, an amazing shout out goes out to each and every one of my wonderful patrons who make the channel possible. Patrons make that world go round. Thank you so much, everyone. And I look forward to the continued support of all the amazing people on this channel each and every day. You guys rock. We wouldn't exist without you. Hey guys, you made it. You're at the end of the video again. No, there's no popcorn, although I'm going to see Carnage this weekend. It's supposed to be a pretty good movie. I'm hoping it's as good as I hope it is, because it's kind of hard to picture Woody Harrelson as Carnage, but we'll see how it goes. I'll let you guys know in the live stream on Sunday. It's going to be kind of fun to watch, but we'll go over that stuff. Guys, thanks for making it to the end of the video. I really appreciate everyone taking the time to watch my videos in full every day. You guys are awesome. And you know what? I hope you get to play some Magic this weekend. I really do. I hope to play myself. Cheers, everyone.